Help them figure what they want out of life. But you know everything it come with a price. Want to maximize your money and time. Might have to take the uncommon advice.
Well, we're going to jump into that and let's do it.
Yeah, so just the concept of creating what you want to be a part of, because a lot of times you might find yourself in an environment you don't like, you don't want to be in, and you're not sure where to go, so you just create your own environment and get moving, and surround yourself with the people that you want to be around. And it's much, much better than finding yourself following, right? So sometimes you got to create the environment you want to be part of, which is a leadership piece, right?
Yeah,
and we're doing that with a couple of things. Like, think about a podcast could actually be a small way of creating the environment you want to be a part of. So for me, and I'll kind of relate it to this podcast, I struggled in the very beginning. I've been doing podcasts for 3 years now, and I would start a show, I'd get a bunch done, they'd launch, I'd start another show, and I'm like, it just wasn't like me just doing a conversation. I was like, I like the idea of a podcast piece, but what I need is to create a spot where I can actually communicate with someone. And then as Zena and I started working together and doing more stuff, I was like, man, that's perfect, right? So we've kind of curated this environment on the podcast front between us, because we wanted to be a part of it and be able to be part of the podcast movement, but we need to do it in our own way. And for me, just sitting here talking and going on and on and on, I was like, I don't like my voice that much. But so being able to have more of a banter and a conversation back and forth was creating that environment for us to be able to have more success.
Absolutely. And something else that we actually have created and built, and I'm actually very proud and I can say that I'm a part of, is, we've talked about this before, but it's our football program and the impact we've made. Like, I don't have kids. Like, a lot of people always ask me, like, why are you coaching? And do you have kids? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have kids. He's like, so why are you spending so much time? I'm like, because I care. I care about athletes and their growth, because I was an athlete who, I have my parents' support, right? But it's a difference between the parent support and a coach's support. Like, your parents are always going to support you. I feel like they just have to support you. They're your parents. But a coach, you can have, like we've talked about, you can have a good coach and a bad coach, and a bad coach can basically end the experience for a kid. And I've always just wanted to be a part of it. I started coaching back in 2019. I was 19 years old, actually, when I started doing it. It was for the organization here, Lake Norman Giants, and I built such a great relationship with those parents, but more than all, the players. I still have players nowadays that still want to come play with me. I actually gave one to Nate in this last tournament that did great for him, but we created something that we wanted to be a part of, but it's just not being a part of, but we wanted to make an impact. And we're making, in my eyes, we're making a huge impact for a lot of these kids from what we're doing, and that's something I'm actually very proud of.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. So Champions Football is one of it's our nonprofit that we have, and we were building we knew that was something we had to build that we wanted to be a part of, right? And the reason being is youth sports is a different environment in today's day and age. When I grew up, youth sports is big business. Youth sports is one of those things where some of these sports you have to have a lot of money just to get in. Football, a bad coach can ruin the game for you.
Exactly.
So I think being able to create an environment, our biggest thing was, and a lot of times what happens now in these rec leagues is that you hear the term all the time, daddy ball.
Yeah.
And when daddy ball's played, what that really means is, hey, my son's not that good, but I'm going to volunteer to coach so he starts at whatever position he wants to start at, as opposed to me helping these kids become the best players and best team they can become. And daddy ball is another thing that ruins an experience for a lot of people as well. And it's tough to get away from, but our big goal with this, one of the big goals was like, look, we want kids from all over that can come in. We don't want it to cost them an arm and a leg. And we've got sponsors, people that came in and sponsored our vision of what we were doing. And we've created this community, and we're building, and we've got people now reaching out to some of our coaches saying, hey, can I join you guys next year? Can I join you now? Can I join you next year? And because we've really focused on the experience for the kids, we've focused on building a community and the environment that we would want to be in. We don't want dad ball. We don't want, we're trying to bring in great coaches like Z here who are in it for the right reasons, in it for the kids, right? Like to help these kids not only just be good on the field, but off the field.
Correct.
Right? These lessons that you can learn and life in general, like lessons that you can learn in general off the field, that on the field that you can equate to off the field. You know, winning is an attitude, winning is a mentality, right? And if you teach people how to win, and then at the same time that hunger to win, that builds competitiveness for them to go out and succeed in life. But also our team, we have the team that I'm a part of coaching as well. My son does not play both ways. He's on the team, but he does come out too. So that was a big thing for me, is I actually had 2 other coaches that coach with me, and I stepped back and said, hey, I just want to be kind of help with personnel and kind of game management, let them do their coaching. And I'm so glad I did. They've done a great job. And we've been to 4 championships, 6 tournaments, 4 championships, and we won our first one. We lost the last 2, some bitter defeats. These kids were just tore up about these bitter defeats we took. And this past week, and they came back and won it all. So they you know, they're learning adversity, how to overcome adversity, and how not to quit. Like, yeah, you lost, but they all put into work to make sure they won the next one. You know,
correct, and goes back to this, is when you create something you want to be a part of. There's never a time that you're like, man, I got to do this, or man, I got to do that. Right? You're always looking, how can it be better? Mm-hmm. Like we're talking about it here. Us 3, Ashton's also part of this organization. We're talking about, like, what's next year? What's next year going to look like? How are we going to make this better? Because the problem is we went into this, when we first started this, Nate actually wasn't even part. When we first started this, Nate came in and he saw the vision, he saw the goal, he saw what we wanted to do, and he was actually our first sponsor, first and only sponsor last year when we started this. And this year he went gung-ho with us. He was like, hey, I'm coming in, I want to help you guys out, and he did, and then it's blown up since. I mean, we went from 30 kids at a tryout to 100-something kids at a tryout, and we're making impacts in these kids' lives. And we, like I said, we created something that we want to be a part of, but those families and those kids also. Those kids, they'll message. I have them in a group chat. Coach, we're practicing today? Hey, Coach, what time we got to be there? Coach, this. Because they're having fun. We created a fun environment, and that just always go back to is create something you want to be a part of. And we're actually doing that with a couple other brands we're working on that I'm not going to get too in-depth with it, but we're doing that too, is we're creating something that we all believe in. And one thing that in this office I would say we all believe in is sports. I'm just going to say it. Sports hits us all, and we can all sit down here and talk sports for hours. It can be we can talk about a stick and a ball, and that conversation will go for 2 hours, because sports is just something we believe in so deep that we're building stuff around that now.
Yep. So. Yeah, and that's the lesson of building something you want. What eventually happens, and what we're seeing is happening with the nonprofit, is families that came on board are already now recruiting other families to come join us.
Exactly.
So they're like, I love what you're doing. I've already got 5 people I'm bringing next year to come be a part of this, right? So pretty cool that, you know, that we're doing the best we can. Now don't get me wrong. Like, there's things we did wrong this season.
Correct.
But we've reached out, we've asked, we've talked, we've had meetings. Like, how do we make it better? How do we make this the elite best experience for the kids in the community, the kids and the families in our community, going forward? And what are the things that we can do to do that? So we're going to be next year. The experience will be even better, just because we'll fix all the little things that we know we did wrong this year. But the fact that parents are coming to us saying, "Hey, I've got other families I'm bringing next year," because they tried us out this year, knows we're doing something right and building the right community.
Yeah, and going back to this is, you don't always have to create. I'm going to say this. You can join something that you believe that you can be a part of and help it grow, and build relationships. Because I wouldn't be where I am today without joining this 7-on-7 with Nate, because they would not know me. I would not be here working with Nate. And that's something people always think is like, you don't have to create. You don't have to be the guy with the idea, but you can be the guy who supports it, helps it grow, and put your time and effort, and things always come back, right? When you put in, like I put into this football, this is volunteer hours. This is coming it's my gas money, it's my food, travel, all that stuff is coming from here, but I don't do that in the pace like, oh, I'm going to get paid back one day, or I'm going to make money off of this one day. I do it just because I love the game and I love being with the kids, and I didn't create it. I did not create this. So it's just, you don't always have to be the creator. You can be the supporter and part of the grower.
And one thing to point out that you did too is, so we basically built in, through some of the sponsors that we had, we were able to build in a payment for the coaches that were contributing their time. And he was one of the first ones to say, I don't want the paycheck. I'm not doing this for the money. And so, like, we had some coaches that took payments, and I mean, I'm happy. We were happy to pay them, right?
Correct.
Because they are donating their time and energy to kind of impact the kids. But he was like, "No, man, toss that money back into the pool, and let's see what else we can do with it." So, which is pretty cool, right?
Exactly. So yeah, the whole thing about this is, I know we're mentioning create, but you can also be a part of something, and it can be something in sports. It can be something you love. It can be something you just want to start. Just do it. Basically, like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah. And I would say that's kind of how I got involved, right? Like you already said, you guys 2 years ago had a team. I sponsored it. I'm like, well, I want to get more involved. I knew, like, I'm not the smartest football guy in the world, and I'll claim that, and I claimed it on day one. But I do know marketing. I do know curating community. I do know how to get in front of people. I do know how to, like, kind of build that vision piece of it. And so I think that's, for me, I would venture to say that's how I got involved. Was like, all right, well, I can bring this to the table, and I believe in what you guys are trying to get to, and I think I can bring something to the table to help us get there. And so,
Exactly.
you don't always have to be the leader of it. You can always just be someone who pops in, like you just said.
And like it's
Use your
something
talents.
And something Nate brought up is, like, Nate is someone who's had success and has built companies to be successful, and is someone who's wealthy and successful. He didn't come into this thinking about how am I going to make $1. No, I think Nate's investment has been huge into this and helping these kids grow. And it's like he said, it's like he came in as marketing, as this, and Nate never asked, like, how am I going to make my money back? Because
I don't know. I came in, I was like, here's how much we're going to give, and here's if it costs more, I guess it costs more.
And he came in because he loves, first thing, he wants to make an impact in the community and kids. And like I said, we all love sports, right? We're in it for the sports. So that's my take on this. It's pretty cool when you don't always have to create, but you can join to be a part of it. And if you do create something, go do it. It's going to be a fun journey.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's not going to be successful. Just letting you know, our first year in this program specifically, I think we had 36 kids at tryout. Second year, we like triple the number.
Yeah, we had over 200 registered.
And then next year, we're predicting we're gonna double that number. So it's been crazy the journey with this. But that's a little story on our stuff and how we're how I would say we created it or went into something.
Yeah. We built something that we wanted to be a part of, and how other people are attracted to and coming to us. So,
and we got something else. We got more stuff we're building. So
Yeah.
there's some exciting stuff that's definitely cooking in the oven. Just right now, it's like on low heat.
yeah, it's simmering.
It's exactly.
It's on the simmer. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So, and that's a wrap. I mean, this is
That's it, man.
that's it.
I say Miami in 5. Let's do a
Oh.
gentleman's sweep against the Bucks. Now the Knicks, and then Philly, Boston. They don't want that smoke. They're gonna go to Game 7. Something's gonna happen. They're gonna be all beaten up, and Miami's gonna. It's gonna be. You know what? Remember the bubble when everybody's like, it's just the bubble. It's just the bubble. Watch it. It's gonna be the Lakers Heat in the finals.
You think?
Oh man, and I'm gonna love it because Bam will lock down Davis. Hopefully.
Man, you think the Lakers can make it?
I don't know. I mean,
Denver's on fire.
Denver is playing really well. I think.
Pushing coaches and everything. Come on.
Hey, he dapped him up yesterday before the game. But that's going to be Lakers Nuggets. That's if the
All right,
Nuggets.
so you got so you have Lakers Heat in the finals. You got Bam locking up
Anthony Davis.
and the Heat winning it all.
Yeah.
Do you think that has any biased opinion at all based on that because you're a Miami fan from Miami?
No, I don't think there's. I think that's
That's just
factual.
facts.
That's
just
just
straight
facts.
facts.
No, but hey, listen. Everybody keeps telling me this. Ready? You're talking about a Miami Heat team that got destroyed by the Hawks, was losing by 7 points to the Bulls with 3 minutes left in the last play-in game to get the 8th spot. Everybody says, but Giannis sat out for a game and a half. It's like, or 2 games, whatever they call it. It's like, so what? This team barely passed. They lost to the Hawks. They barely beat Chicago. They have no Tyler Hero, no Victor Oladipo. And all they have right now is Himmy. Himmy buckets. Jimmy effing buckets.
Jimmy buckets.
So yeah, now
All
it's going to
right.
be
Well, we will be back
be a good
next week
series.
to see if that prediction has moved forward.
Go Heat, baby. Hey, Miami, if you're listening to this, I'll take tickets. So, any game.
Oh, hey, do us a favor. Like, comment, and share. It's the bro code.
Yeah, guys, come on. Like, comment, and share like Nate said. We we do this to help you guys, to give some information of what we've done, failed success, name some topics of stuff that's going on, and give you guys some stories. So let's like and share, man. We're not asking for much. We're not asking you to pay anything. It's just you click a button.
Here we are. Pay the toll.
Well,
pay the toll. The toll is comment, share,
subscribe.
Let us know what you want to hear more about on the marketing side.
Sounds good. Don't forget, submit your marketing.
Have to take the uncommon advice.